Hello guys, and welcome to another episode of Is It Worth It, the series where I share my review and my opinion on different video games I've experienced. Today's video is about a relaxing indie game called A Tale of Paper. A Tale of Paper was developed by Open House Studio as their debut game in the gaming industry. The game was published by Gammera and Digreti. It was first released for the PlayStation 4 console in October 2020, and a few months later, in early 2021, the game was released for the Steam and all the other platforms. The game is said to have a complete edition coming soon for the PlayStation 5. But what exactly is A Tale of Paper? Well, for me, the idea that sold the game was that the paper heartless, origami, moves around a little nightmare world. To elaborate on each, the origami hero that the player gets to control looks a lot like a Heartless from the Kingdom Hearts series, and some of the locations of the world remind me a lot of the Little Nightmares 2 universe, especially when Six moves between the chapters and the camera zooms out so that we can see the location. And another place reminds me a lot of the flying beds found within the Little Nightmares 2. The game, similar to other indies, shares no dialogue with the player and no dialogue through text, with the exception of a secret text found through the secret encounter. The story, however, can be seen mainly at the end if the player accomplished a certain task. I won't say my interpretation of the story, as the game is called A Tale of Paper, and spoiling the tale will just leave the player with a paper. A Tale of Paper is a platform action adventure game that puts the player in the shoes of Lime. Lime is a paper figure who has to venture around in 8 different chapters to reach its goal. Through his adventure, Lime is capable of learning new abilities to keep the game simple and clean. Okay, enough with the Kingdom Hearts references, I'll stop. The game cleverly transforms Lime into different shape origami to be able to solve puzzles and move around. What a better way to manipulate a hero made of paper other than origami, right? The game also separates the hero in 2 different chapters, the first 1 to 6 and 6 to 8. The first origami hero is capable of transforming into 3 different shapes, an origami in the shape of frog, a ball shape, and a plane shape. The second hero, who appears in the final 2 chapters as I mentioned, is capable of transforming into a bird and a rocket. The game is simple. The players move around in a linear world in order to reach the end of the chapter. Lime is weak to water, so standing in water or even trying to swim in a pond will cause his death. The other 2 ways of Lime to die is to either jump off the cliff or being attacked by a hoover, as it will tear him into pieces. The player moves around with L3 and jumps with X. L1 is used to sprint and R1 is used to interact with the world, more specifically the vents. The origami transformations are mapped to the other buttons. Square turns Lime into a frog that allows him for an enormous jump. Triangle turns him into a ball. This transformation is mainly used in order to travel in between tubes. Circle is used for the plane transformation, and it allows Lime to hover whilst on air. The second player the hero gets to play is exactly the same, however the origami transformations are different. Square is replaced with a bird, and very similar to the frog, it gives the player an additional height on his jump. Circle is used to turn into a rocket whose function can only be seen as a dash. The game has only 1 type of collectible and can be found in every chapter. There are papers scattered around the world. When all 8 of them are gathered, the player gets to visit the extras, which will be available on the home screen once the game finishes. Every set of 2 origami showcases one of the 4 drawings that indicates the story of the game. The origami transformation can combo with each other. For example, leaping as a frog and then turning into a plane whilst on air will give the plane an extra height for it to go. So don't be afraid to experiment with your powers. The latter chapter, with the next hero, also wants to make it clear by combining both the bird and the rocket in many of its platforming challenges. Overall, it's a nice game. The buttons respond to the player immediately, but at the same time, sometimes it will glitch Lime out, forcing the player to restart the game. The game's puzzles are simple to follow, and the enemy difficulty is not that hard. As I mentioned, the game is said to have a Ps5 complete edition that will include more rooms for the players to explore, and new power-ups as seen in the trailers. The Platinum Trophy for the game can be acquired within 2 to 3 hours, or even faster depending on your speed. Personally for me, it took exactly 75 minutes. I hope you guys enjoyed the video. If you did, please leave a like and subscribe. Tell me in the comments below what are your thoughts on the game and whether or not you like what you see. Take care, and I'll see you all in the next one. See ya!